Right. And we are live. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. As you can see on the screen, we do have a Springbok team and a very, very interesting one. Rassie Erasmus and his coaching staff have sprung a couple of surprises and a lot to get through, a lot of big calls being made, and potential start of a new era with Sasha Famagomazulu being handed the reins at just 22 years old, starting at fly half. His first ever start for the Boks, and his first ever start. I think it's actually. I think it might even be actually his first start at fly half for like well over a year. I don't think he actually started for the Stormers at fly half over the course of the season. So very, very interesting call being made. Also, a big call being made at number 8, for example. Big call at number 9. Calls on the bench, 6-2 split. Lots to talk about. Lots to get through. I want you to smash like on the video if you do like the team. We've got a poll running in the comments, so go and vote on it and let me know if you like the team, for example. And if you don't like the team, let me know why. Don't be a silent hater. You know, if you don't like the team, that's fine, but I want to know your reasons. I want to know why you don't like the team, which, by the way, could change. We have got word from Bok camp, but there is a niggle to Archie Snamer with Ruan Nokia potentially waiting in the wings to have to take his place if needs be. And it's going to be interesting to see how these players sort of all fit in together, especially with this sort of 6-2 split that we've gone. Given the fact that there's no lock on the bench, no like sort of out and out lock. Ben Jason Dixon can play lock, hasn't played a lot this season, but has played previously. So it's a very different sort of dynamic to a 6-2 split. When you can think about the first time we started doing the 6-2 split back in 2019, it was 2 locks. It was almost like a way to try and get the four the best locks in the world in Lourdes Diaga, Eben Etzebeth, Archie and Franco Mostert. Try and get all 4 of them into the team. And we've traditionally, even during the World Cup last year, had those 2 locks coming off the bench. We've kind of gone full circle already when it comes to 6-2 split because we've now got 3 loose forwards coming off the bench and no locks. So it's a very interesting sort of dynamic that it's going to, and be interested to see the effect it has on the team in terms of the way we use the 6-2 split and the potential impact of it as well. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic and very keen to see again how it's deployed. You know, are we going to see a 50-minute complete sort of pack change? You know, with the squad we've got, we can't expect even Etzebeth to go the distance, which he's not been doing lately. Interestingly enough, you know, he's often been replaced by Salman Murat sort of during Ireland and the like. So it's not something he's been doing a lot. Is playing that sort of full 80. So he will have to go the full distance. This weekend because we don't really have a natural number 4. Ben Jason Dixon in theory could go into there, but not really where he's played a lot of his rugby. So yeah, let's get through it, shall we? So we'll start with the front row. Oxenchair, Bongi Manambi, and France Moherbe. Pretty straightforward, really. You know, kind of what you expect. That is often our usual starters. It kind of depends on Bongi Manambi and Malcolm Marx as to who starts with those 2 props, but those 2 props have been our starters for the last few years. So nothing particularly surprising. Even Etzebeth next to Archie Snyman as well. Now, as I said, the big news is that Archie Snyman does have a slight niggle. He has been named on the side, so he's expected to be fit. However, if he is not, then Ruan Nokia is apparently waiting in the wings and could come in to replace him this weekend if there is any injuries over there. He's obviously a very like replacement, being a genuine number 5 lock. Good liner operator as well, good hard grafter, very much in the Franco Mostert mold. Lots of people sort of touting him the Franco Mostert replacement. So we've got options. And then a loose trio is Siklis, PSTF, Toy, Ulrich Lowe. With Ulrich Lowe, that's kind of the other big selection, isn't it? You know, starting him at 8. A different type of player to Quokka Smith, you know, far more sort of combative in the way he carries. Not quite the breakdown threat, for example, but obviously a bit taller, a bit bigger, more of a liner option, for example. So it gives you an additional liner option. Kind of has that sort of that idea, like a nasty number 8, sort of a big bruising number 8, which is far more traditionally what the Boks have had. And I think the biggest loser here is Evan Lewis, who I think has missed out on a really good opportunity to have. It's not his fault. I mean, he's injured and he's had a slight knee issue, and he's decided to undergo the knife. So he has actually had surgery on that to try and sort that long term, which is probably the right thing to do and a responsible thing to do. But for example, now you got Albert Lowe, who's probably going to have the next two tests, and he's going to have an opportunity to have a real go at making the number 8 jersey, his own. Jasper Wiese is waiting to come back, and I think as soon as he's fit, I think he does come back and probably starts. But Albert Lowe has got this opportunity to have a go at a top tier nation in the form of Australia, to show what he's all about, which I think Evan Lewis could have had and would have really liked to have had, because I don't think he's really been able to lay down the gauntlet really, with regards to any of his sort of Springbok performances so far. Not that he's been poor, but it just hasn't quite been the Evan Lewis we've seen at the Stormers. Albert Lowe, on the other hand, for example, got one opportunity against Portugal, and yes, it's against Portugal, but took it with both hands, played really well in the 15 minutes that he had, or whatever, 20 minutes he had, and he's been rewarded with a start. And I genuinely think that is kind of what I think they saw him and went, right, we're very happy to take him over to Australia. Let's get him in, and he's going to start. And whether he'll get a full 80, potentially not, because as I said, we do have quite a Smith off the bench who can play at 8 if really needs be. I think you might see Marco Verstappen packing down at 8 if things go really, really badly. Sekulisi has actually played at 8 this season for Racing, which is quite an interesting one as well. But the big one, the big selection, it's staring you right in the face there, and that is the number 10 jersey. Sasha Feinberg Mngomezulu starting at 10 for the Boks. Is this the start of the new generation? We've seen how he's been being backed a lot. He's really, really rated by the coaching staff. I found some comments saying that, he has been given an opportunity really, really strange, because I think, if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Maybe Kirkley Orenser? I'm trying to think if he played. I think Kirkley Orenser is the only other player who has played every single test so far this year. Sash Feinberg is playing his 5th game for the Springboks this weekend. 2 months ago, he was uncapped. That's kind of so. I found any sort of suggestions that they hadn't given an opportunity just because he's not on the bench very, very strange. Because he's been playing, he's arguably played the most. So they really do rate him. Rassie Erasmus even spoke about the fact that he's captain material and that he's potential future captain, and they really rate him. But more importantly, I think the important thing is that they rate him as a 10. Yes, he's a utility player, and I think he's very much being useful in that sort of scenario, because we haven't had Damian Willemse, so he enables the 6-2 split, but Damian Willemse enables 6-2 split